I am not talking about the anime versions here, just the manga. Today you get a double feature, and why these two in particular, you'll see in a bit. But spoiler free, really quick, I really like both, but Nejimaki Kagyu is probably my favorite of the two. Still, I recommend both. Let's start with Kakegurui, which kind of roughly translates to, like, gambling addict, I think. Or to be crazy about gambling, something along those lines. It's about a school where every kid is rich and they instead decide to just gamble all their fortunes away. Because, I don't know, boredom or something. We follow a guy who's actually the protagonist, rather, who met this girl who has just arrived there, who is, of course, absolutely crazy about gambling. I mean, like, really crazy. Like, some of these people actually get off to gambling. I'm not making that up. That's the only thing I'll mention about the anime, because there you actually see one of the characters go to a bathroom and masturbate to the thought of gambling. Although in her case it's rather that she wants to die, but whatever. It's kind of like the first few volumes of Yu-Gi-Oh! In that in Yu-Gi-Oh! There would, every first few chapters there would be like a new game they introduced, or a new toy. And in Kakeguru's case they introduced like card games, or variations of poker, etc. that you can use to gamble on. Which also kind of reminds me of the Gashikashi in a sense. So yeah, I think that's one of the strengths and weaknesses of this manga. It's full of dialogue. They have to explain so much all the time. Which is also kind of like Death Note. It's kind of like they have like monologues explaining why they're so smart and why they're one step ahead, and then they get foiled and they explain, well, the reason I set you up in this trap, which led to this blah 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 blah. Which also, as refreshing as the series is, I've never read anything about a school that makes uses of gambling. Because it kind of falls back into common classic shonen manga tropes. Like, instead of there being two people fighting each other and constipating, like, they're just pretty much trying to be smart in that sense, and having internal monologues explaining why they're smart. Meanwhile, the audience looking at them is being also explained to the viewers what's happening. It's like, say for example, in One Piece or something, when they're watching Luffy fight someone, and they, for some reason, the people watching feel like they have to explain something to the viewers and have a monologue and be like, but hey, why didn't Luffy just punch him? Well, you see, it's because it has this and this and this. It's the same thing here. And it's kind of bad, because this is really a really refreshing series overall. Like I said, because it's really original and very fun to read. But it feels like it has a lot of unused potential. It feels like it couldn't just be a school where these rules apply. So it could have been like, maybe not a city, but a smaller town where every single person like gambles all the time, and everyone's riches depend on how good they gamble, etc. And how they can't just have like a normal gambling match. They have to have characters stand on the side and analyze the match while it's going, etc. It feels like they could just cut away so much of the dialogue and you won't really miss anything. But what makes this really, really stand out is, of course, a little thing called reaction porn, as I prefer to call it. We live in a day and age where it's extremely commonplace to just love people's reaction. Like, elders react to porn, or teenagers react to whatever, and make these crazy faces, like some people who do the super fake over the top reactions during Let's Plays or whatever. This series is kind of like that. They do the most exaggerated facial expressions sometimes, but it never goes too cartoony. Like, they don't grow an extra row of teeth, or their eyes get like super big or something like that, or their smile just becomes like half a moon or something. But they always use this lightning to, like, the background usually becomes really dark and there's a source of light shining beneath them while they're looking super duper mad or something. Like I said, it's really over the top, but it's not too cartoonish in that sense. Especially when the protagonist gets her gambling addiction on and her eyes like turns red and she sometimes start feeling herself because she loves gambling that much and she's so enthralled by it. It's super funny. So bottom line, read it, it's funny. Not the greatest, but it's really good though. And now Nejimaki Kagyu, or Nejimaki Kagyu as some might pronounce it, doesn't really matter. This one, the plot, I'm not even gonna try to explain to you. I want you to be as curious about this as possible, because this thing really needs attention. It's not very famous at the moment. I don't think there's any form of adaptation in the work, at least as of making this video. All you need to know is that it's kind of an action series, which is unfortunate, because it kind of becomes a very stereotypical shonen series the more it goes on. But the start is just so magnificent, I can't even explain. Like I said, I'm not gonna explain the plot, please look it up yourselves. This is a really good, funny manga. The reason why I decided to do these two side to side is because of the reactions, as I said. Because this manga has the funniest artwork I've seen in a long time. At first I was kind of off-put by it, but then sometimes when it wants to exaggerate and want people to look evil and ugly, it becomes Mad Magazine level of just pure insanity. Like, characters can go from looking like this to this flawlessly in a heartbeat. It's so crazy, but unfortunately it doesn't. It seems like the more the series goes on, it kind of stops with that, but holy shit! It's so nuts! And the plot is actually kind of sweet in a sense. That's why I think I really like it, because it can be really cute sometimes, and then other times it just becomes so ugly in that sense. Just so absolutely over the top. And that's why I decided to talk about Kakegurui and Nejimaki Kagyu together. Because they both love exaggerated facial expressions. It's just that Nejimaki Kagyu, in my opinion, does it even more crazy. Crazier, as it's called in, good English. So, like I said in the beginning, I really like both. Please check them out. If you have something you want me to talk about, tell me in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.